Fables of La Fontaine. An Animal in the Moon. Some sages argue that all men are dupes, and that our senses lead the fools in troops. Other philosophers reverse this quite, and prove that man is nearly always right. Philosophy says true, senses mislead, if we judge only by them without heed. But if we mark the distance and reflect on atmosphere and what it will effect, the senses cheat none of us. Nature's wise. I'll give an instance. With my naked eyes I see the sun. How large is it, think you? 3 feet at farthest? It appears so, true. But could I see it from a nearer sky, 'twould seem of our vast universe the eye. The distance shows its magnitude, you see. My hand discovers angles easily. Fools think the earth is flat. It's round, I know. Some think it motionless. It moves so slow. Thus, in a word, my eyes have wisdom got. The illusions of the senses cheat me not. My soul, beneath appearances, sees deep. My eye's too quick. A watch on it I keep. My ear, not slow to carry sounds, betrays when water seems to bend a stick 10 ways. My reason helps me out. And if my sight lies always, yet it never cheats me quite. If I would trust my senses, very soon they'd tell me of the woman in the moon. What? Is there really? No. Mistrust your eyes, for what you see are inequalities. The surface of the moon has many regions. Here spread plains, there mountains rise in legions. In light and shade, strange figures you can trace. An elephant, an ox, a human face. Not long ago, in England, men perplexed saw in a telescope what savants vexed. A monster in this planet's mirror fair. Wild cries of horror filled the midnight air. Some change was pending, some mysterious change predicting wars or a misfortune strange. The monarch came. He favored learned men. The wondrous monster showed itself again. It was a mouse, between the glasses shut, the source of war, the nibbler of a nut. The people laughed. Oh, nation blessed with ease, when will the French have time for toils like these? Mars brings us glory's harvests. Still, the foe shrinks down before us, dreading every blow. 'Tis we who seek them, sure that victory, slave to our Louis, follows ceaselessly his flag. His laurels render us renowned, yet memory has not left this mortal round. We wish for peace alone we sigh. Charles tastes the joy of rest. He would in war display his valor, and his flag bear far, to reach the tranquil joy that now he shares. Would he could end our quarrels and our cares. What incense would be his, what endless flame? Did not Augustus win a glorious name, equal to Caesar's in its majesty, and worthy of like reverence may be? Oh, happy people, when will peace come down to dower our nation with her olive crown? Well, there you have it. An animal in the moon. What's this all about? Well, he starts out talking about how you can't trust your senses. You have to trust your reason. Senses lie. If you look at the sun, it looks like it's about 3 feet in diameter. Obviously, this can't be true, but that's how it looks to the human eye. But with our reason, we understand that the sun is 1,000,000 times the size of the earth. So that's how your senses work with your reason. You can't trust what you see, you can't trust what you hear. Fools think the earth is flat. Why? Well, it looks flat. It seems flat. Our senses show us that it's flat. It doesn't seem to move, but we know that it moves hundreds of thousands of kilometers a second or something like that. You have the sun, you have the earth spinning on its axis, that's motion, then this is moving around the sun, and that's motion, and then you have our galaxy moving around, and then you have the universe is expanding faster than the speed of light, they say. So there's lots of motion going on, but to us, earthlings, it doesn't seem to move at all. So you have to use your reasons. He says, if you trust your senses and you look at the moon, it looks like there's a woman, picture of a woman on the moon. But obviously, that can't be true, because really the moon has huge plains and huge mountain ranges, and, the moon is much bigger than just a picture of a woman. And if you look at the moon, you can see areas of light and shade, that this one looks like an elephant and that looks like a human face, kind of like seeing shapes in the clouds. So one day, these English philosophers or scientists or people who study the moon, they thought they saw a monster on the moon. So they screamed out, "Oh my God, there's a monster on the moon." So everybody panicked and thought that we were going to be attacked, or this was a bad omen that meant terrible things were going to happen on Earth. So the king came by and wanted to see, so he looked up, and the astronomers showed him the telescope, and then they discovered, when the monster appeared again, that it was actually a mouse inside the body of the telescope. So if you trust your senses, this telescope pointing at the moon, you see this huge creature. Yeah, because the creature is very close. You understand. So everyone stopped screaming and thinking the world was coming to an end, and they basically said, "Oh, whew, just a mouse." So La Fontaine goes, "Oh, how wonderful. In England they can look through telescopes and joke about mice and study all this philosophy and things like that. But here we are in France, where we are at war. I believe they're at war with England, but they're fighting on French soil. So the French king obviously can't rest, and the English king is over there. King Charles in England is relaxing and enjoying leisure, while King Louis in France is stressing over war on French soil. So that's it. They wish they could relax and have tranquil times and enjoy peaceful times, but until the war is over. And Charles is the only one who can end the war, either by stopping or by defeating France and wiping them all out. So while the French people are all stressed and hoping for peace and worried about their children. They're relaxing over in England. So basically, what he's saying is, it all depends on your point of view. First off, how do we acquire knowledge? Can we trust empiricism? Can we trust our senses? These are the empiricists. That's science, everything is measured. Or can we trust our mind? That's rationalism. When I see something through my eyes, do you see the same thing through your eyes? Well, in reality, your brain sees things. Your brain is in a vessel, pitch black. It's a skull. There's no openings. There's no light getting in. You have this brain in a pitch black room, and information is coming in through your sense organs, and your brain is creating everything you see. So then you have to interpret what you see through reason. It's the only way. But there's another way to see, and that is, if you're in war, you can't see things like you can when you're in peace. It's very easy to relax and see things in a positive light and enjoy leisure. This is one way of seeing it. But when you're stressed and you're at war and you're worried about your children, you're worried about your country, and you're worried about all this, this is also going to influence the way you see the world in war and in peace. And sadly, these are pretty difficult times for me, so it's very hard to see things as if it were times of peace. It's very hard to be hopeful. It's very hard to be positive, but we have to hang in there and be strong and hope for a better day. Anyway, if you have anything you'd like to add, any comments, anything down below, please. Something to think about. Till next time. Goodbye. Love you.